Okay, YouTube, we're back with the 72 cutlass frame. As you can see, we got the motor and tranny out. I've been going back and forth trying to figure out a way that I could box this frame rail in on both sides. As you can see, the way the cross member is designed, it bolts to the lower section of the frame, and you can see there's numerous holes in this frame. These holes, I'm almost positive, were drilled from the factory so that this same cross member could be used with different style transmissions that they put in these cars. But as you can see, the frame just bolts. The cross member just bolts through the bottom of the frame with 2 bolts. Comes across. Same thing on the other side. So I was trying to figure out, went back and forth with a few ideas, trying to figure out how I could box this frame in. So what I've decided to do is I'm gonna remove this cross member, take the bolts out, remove the cross member. I'm gonna go ahead and box my frame rails in all the way down. Then I'm gonna take, let me get closer for you guys. I'm gonna cut the cross member. Okay, I'm gonna cut my cross member down. I'm gonna box this side in here. Box all of this in, reinforce it underneath here with the box in. And when I run my metal here to box the frame rail in, I'm gonna add a piece of angle that comes out. I'd say probably, I'm gonna look for at least an 1/8 inch thick piece of angle iron. I'm probably gonna make me a 10-inch section. That way, in the future, I might use a foot section. That way, in the future, if he decides to change transmission or something, he can drill more holes as needed in the angle iron. But once I box this in, reinforce it, I'm gonna have me a tab coming off the bottom, just basically the same way this is. This is just flat, comes in, bolts up. So once I box all of this in, fill in the bottom, I'll run me a flat plate, stick out like a tab. Probably use some 1/8 inch, maybe 1/4 inch steel plate to make it nice and sturdy. But that will actually sit. I'm gonna drill my 2 bolt holes in the plate. That plate will actually sit on the angle that I'm gonna add right here. So my angle will come down like this, will have my bolt holes in it. Then my plate will come off, sit right on top of the angle. You'll be able to sandwich the 2 together and bolt them in. That way, I can box the frame in and give the frame a lot more strength, and he will still be able to use and utilize the factory transmission cross member. Now, I'm sure that for the right amount of money, somebody makes probably a tubular cross member, or a different style cross member for these cars. If you see, this one came from the factory. It has the humps on each side for the dual exhaust to run through, which is a nice option. A lot of cars did not have that, especially G-bodies. I'm just thinking along the lines of trying to save the customer some money. He's already put a lot of money into this car when it was at the other shop, and the other guys, screwed him over. So I'm just trying to save him some money in any way I can and still make his build a nice build, and think about the strength of the frame, keeping the frame strong and tying everything together. And I know that it doesn't seem like a lot, but when you box these frame rails in all the way down the side, it really adds a lot of strength to the frame. It keeps it from flexing as much, and it really strengthens it up a lot. Also back here, I was thinking of an idea. This is your lower trailing arm. It's where it hooks through, bolts into the frame. Trailing arm sticks in here. I was thinking of a way that I could possibly box this in as well. Run me some plate over this and box it in and bend it in and weld it right here. That way you could still get to this bolt hole here, you know, and just come from this right here all the way around, box it in and tie it into the frame better. That way to give some strength to this. You know, I'm just trying to figure out little things. This is really the first cutlass frame I've ever did any work on, so I'm just, you know, looking at it. I keep going back and forth with ideas. I was looking at some ideas back here in this rear cross section, maybe plating it a little bit, adding some little, you know, extra metal in there to strengthen it up. I'm still going back and forth with that, but you know, I'm just, like I said, trying to save the customer some money and also trying to give him a nice build and strengthen his frame up. But it's coming together. You can see got that rear passenger section done. Well, it's not done. It still needs to be boxed in, but the reason why I haven't went ahead and boxed it in yet, let me show you guys. You can see it's welded out. You know, I did it the same way I did this side here. Plated the side, put the new top on. It's just ready to get the new body mount holes drilled in. Same thing on this side. But the only reason why I haven't boxed it in yet is because this frame, we are gonna flip this frame on the side, and the reason why I want to flip the frame on the side is so that I can get a nice penetrating weld on the bottom of the frame. You can weld upside down, but anybody who knows welding knows that it's a pain in the ass and you're not getting a superior weld, not good penetration like you should, because your weld is wanting to sag down. So I'm gonna lift the frame up on the side with the cherry picker back there. I'll probably run me some, you know, just a little bracing just to keep the frame solid as I lift it up. But go ahead and lift it up, weld everything on the bottom side that needs to be welded, and clean the frame on the underside and make sure I don't have any, like this spot here. You see it was just a rusty section. I'm gonna put a new piece of metal in there. You know, make sure everything is good on the underside. And like I said before, this frame is getting completely, we're using KBS. It's a generic brand of Pour 15, but we've used it on a lot of cars and it really works well. It's a lot of work, but the price difference between Pour 15 is incredible. So you're getting a very good product for a lot less. But I just wanted to give you guys a quick update on the cutlass frame. We just got some more panoramic roofs in. Pontiac G6 panoramic roofs. That's what we installed into the Caprice. Give you guys an update. The Caprice is in primer. It's been block sanded once, filled in the imperfections. This is the second coat of high build primer. Everything looks good. We found a few little pinholes, but it will be getting block sanded one more time and fill in any imperfections we have, and it'll be going in the booth to get painted. Real quick, I'll show you guys. We started stripping the donk. See, this is 75 Caprice convertible. We got the front fenders, hood, and header panel off. Radiator is full of antifreeze, so we got to get us a bucket in here. We did this late last night, just real quick. Got to get us a bucket in here to drain this radiator fluid. But you can see the customer spent some money. I don't know the exact dimensions on the motor. I know it's a big block. It's been bored. It's got dart crank, pistons, connecting rods. He spent some money on the motor. Not, like I said, I don't know the specs on the motor, but it's supposed to sound real good. We haven't heard it run or anything, but you can see car's real dirty. It's gonna be a big project. Just looking at the front section of the frame though, once we took the fenders off and everything, the front section of the frame is actually really solid. I don't see any spots that are of my concern. These doors, you can see how bad that door is leaning. I see that they only have a few bolts in the door hinges. Sorry, this camera, I'm using my phone. You see they only have a few bolts in the door hinges, so that could be a problem why they're sagging, but also I'm sure they need new pins and everything else. So our next step is to get the doors off and look at them and check everything out. You see we got the shop packed with all kind of cars, so that's the hood off of my truck. I've been making little makeshift places to hang stuff, so I'm gonna make a few more of these on down the wall. We got plenty of room to hang stuff, just nothing to hang it from, so I just welded that real quick with some tubing I had laying around and anchor bolted them in through the wall. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a few more of them and hook them up on the wall. That way we can secure this hood and the fenders and the header panel and everything. We can actually just go ahead and hang this stuff up and get it out of our way. That way we don't have to worry about it getting damaged. It's a quick view of the underside of the Cutlass. We got it all wire wheeled down and cleaned up. Turned out really well. We'll be starting working on this in a few days, getting it welded up and trying to fix the stuff that the other shop did wrong. But thanks for watching, YouTube. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Have a good day.